Good afternoon and a very warm welcome to my viewers from around the world. The sun is hiding and the magpie is casting. Coming at you guys today with a 1v1 between the United Kingdom forces of HelpingHans spawning in the south and the Wermacht forces of Andrestc spawning in the north. The map today will be Eindhoven Country, one of my favourite maps, and we're going to get a look today we're going to get another look at the United Kingdom forces, who are the new addition, the new faction in the game. It seems that HelpingHans actually has one of the commanders not available immediately. This is one that he'll have gotten in War Spoils or perhaps even purchased through the Steam store. So let's take a look here. The Special Weapons Regiment ensures that you get the Tank Hunters Infantry section. So this gives you the 50 cal Boys AT rifle on your infantry, on your Tommy squads. The Resupply half-track, which dispatches an M3 with the weapon racks, giving you access to the Bren gun or the Piat. Hold the line. So let's have a look. What does this do? Infantry units in friendly territories gain increased defense. After a period of time, Hawker Typhoons strafe enemies on the front lines with rockets and machine guns. So basically, it seems to me that you get a defensive buff to give you hopefully enough time to last until the air cav arrive. Oh, not the air cav, just the flyboys arrive. Concentrated fire operation. This will give you heavy supporting artillery. Will fire at the target location. Always good to have a barrage you can call in, something to burn off those munitions. And the Vanguard Crocodile. So this is the Churchill Crocodile flamethrower tank, heavy flamethrower tank. It appears that Andrestc, who I might just call Andre, has purchased or has chosen to go for the Encirclement Doctrine. This is one of my favourite commanders. Gives you sprint, which is absolutely fantastic on grenadiers and snipers. He gives you stormtroopers, who are a very versatile and powerful infantry, a sort of elite infantry squad, which can also deploy from ambient structures. Break supply line enables you. It just basically a Stuka comes in and neutralizes an enemy capture point, so it's very good for denying your enemy fuel, and possibly even more if you manage to take out a critical node in their supply chain. You also get the breakthrough, which it's basically a kind of mini sprint for all of your vehicles, and it enables them to decapture points very quickly, which is totally useful for kind of sowing some havoc in your opponent's lines. And finally, you get Close the Pocket. So this is heavy artillery, which will fire at any enemies in front line or cut off territories. So can be very potent. I can't say I've ever actually seen it be super good, but I'd be interested to see if, hopefully Andre here is a veteran at using this commander. He went for it right off the bat, so he's probably quite confident with it. And it'll be nice to see how he uses that if the game goes on long enough. The battle gets underway here. We're in the very centre of the map as a Vickers machine gun on the south end of the screen here, just opening fire on some grenadiers who've managed to get into cover. Now there is a flanking squad of grenadiers going right and another going left, so I'm really liking the play by Andre here. This Vickers is going to have to move, and he's going to come in. He uses sprint to just get right down the flank. He's going to try and beat the MG to the building, but it's just too late. So unfortunately that's not going to happen. Now let's check the arc. So the Vickers is looking sort of to the top right, and these grenadiers are going to have a moment or two whilst the Vickers repositions. It's not actually repositioning. And some Tommies also getting into this building right up here. Now the Vickers has got some guys in its arc, and the Vickers machine gun seems to do better damage than most of your average machine guns, which probably reflects the fact that it costs 280 manpower. So yeah, it ought to be pretty good, and it certainly feels pretty heavy. So, and you can see here doing good damage even off the back of just a small burst into those grenadiers. Yeah, I know they took some damage from the Tommies, but still. Andre making good advances down the left flank with these grenadiers and the pioneers, and it appears that the British player has gone straight for the tier 1 tech building at the cost of, I believe, 35 fuel. I wonder if I can check that for you. No, I can't right now. I believe it's 35 fuel. And he's going to go and get the SAS sniper, who has the Boys 50 caliber anti-tank rifle, and will be able to, well, he one-shots infantry, and he seems very good against infantry and buildings. And he'll also be able to keep any vehicles at bay, or give them a hard time with his critical shot ability. Here he comes just now. He's got a great Scottish accent.
A capture point is being overrun.
Oh.
Ready and waiting.
There he is.
Ready to go.
So yeah, we'll see if he is going to do any good. I think a pretty good counter, if you find yourself playing as Wermacht and you see an SAS sniper coming out, a pretty good counter appears to be the German sniper. He's a faster shot. His camo is pretty good, so you wait for that SAS sniper to reveal itself, possibly beta shot out with a half-track or a scout car, and then just ping him off with your major. Sorry, I always call the German sniper the major. Taking some shots at the buildings is the SAS sniper. Not getting a hit on his first shot, or his second, so that's pretty unlucky for HelpingHans. As these pioneers now equipped with the flamethrower are going to force these Tommies on the right flank back. I would say initially, I think most of the fights so far have gone the way of Helping Hands, if only just. But he is 54 tickets behind on the old scoreline, so going to want to make an effort to grab just this middle point, which he can actually do because he's holding just in front of it. You know, I would have liked to have seen is not retreating this squad because they're not in immediate jeopardy of being squad wiped, just pulling the back behind these sandbags to at least decap this point. It would have been really nice. But maybe he wants to get them recycled back on the line ASAP, and here we do have the Major moving out onto the front. Ed Harris himself, straight on from Stalingrad, coming out with the Gewehr, scoped Gewehr. Going to see if he can hunt down. Do we know? I'm going to call him Eddie Price because that's a vaguely famous British sniper from the Company of Heroes series. Call of Duty series, who I believe actually had a vaguely Scottish accent as well. Anyway, whatever. So we have Ed Harris versus Eddie Price. I don't know where I'm going with this. I should probably just concentrate on the game. So, a scuffle for the fuel point on the right flank. Helping Hands has managed to decap it, which is going to slow down the teching of the United Kingdom forces. This Vickers is going to get stuck right in, although the flamethrower is in range and doing some work. Royal Engineers are going to force the fullback there, though, and a second SAS sniper coming out. Very interesting. So Helping Hands here, really committing to the SAS snipers. Well, let's see if he's performed any of his upgrades for his Tommies. He has not, so they do not have access to the weapon racks, grenades, or the 5th squad member just yet. I'll try and keep an eye on that as the game goes on. I'm still not quite used to the teching sort of system for the Brits, so I don't know sort of the key moments in the game to go and check on these things. Meanwhile, for Andre, we've got Escalate to Battle Phase 1 has completed. He hasn't actually built the tech building for that yet, and he's also floating about 100 fuel. Just over, so he has the option of just going straight to Escalate to Battle Phase 2 if he doesn't fancy building that building. Based on the fact that the Brits actually have a fairly soggy early game, I mean it's not awful, but it's not as dangerous as having Soviets or US forces attacking you. It might be really cool just to rush to Battle Phase 2 and go for something, you know, early Panzer IV, get a Stug out. I'd love a Stug actually. That'd be quite good. Anyway. The SAS snipers chipping on in, doing what work they can. I love a player who uses 2 snipers. So, yeah, call out to Helping Hands, a little shout out for doing that. 2 of the 3 victory points now in the command of the Axis forces, and the 3rd one is not captured. So the British forces here of Helping Hands are bleeding out at 2 tickets per tick. Never great. Got some Royal Engineers trying to change that though. And some stormtroopers were actually spawned. Here they are in this building. Sorry. Pardon me. Didn't catch that when it happened. And something's exploding. It's possibly some mines or a demo charge. Sounded more like mines going off here, claiming the lives of 2 grenadiers.
That's everyone! Grenadiers ready!
And keeping up the pressure on the scoreline by taking the middle victory point as Andre. Both the SAS snipers chilling in this position. I'd love to see them be a little more aggressive. And Zamaja over here, I wonder if he's at risk. I think he's just basically, if I select the Fog of War from Andre's point of view, see the extended line of sight here of the sniper, just giving him intel about the movement of the British forces. Of course, he's set to hold fire, so he's able to provide this information at very little risk at the moment. He's going to slink back on through the middle, and I wonder if we'll see him try and take a shot or 2. I'd quite like that. LMG-42 is of course coming out. Now let's check the teching. So he has decided to build the Life of the Mechanized Company. So we're going to see a half-track. Oh, and I really like this. I think too seldom I see Wermacht players use the half-track. And of the 3 factions in the game, only 2 actually get a reinforcing half-track, a mobile reinforcement point that you can drive around the map and even transport troops with. So I am really keen to see this used, and I selected to watch this game based on matchmaking skill, so I'm hoping he'll be quite good at it. So it'll be really nice to see how that looks in the hands of an experienced, seasoned Wermacht player who's got some PvP experience under his belt. This Vickers gun here just covering the left flank of the central position. These Tommies are going to get into cover. Of course they're using their little cover bonus there, so when they're in cover their rate of fire increases a lot. Here comes the half-track. The 251. It's a 251. 251. Vickers going to start laying into these guys. That's a squad which, is he going to risk reinforcing it in the field? I think he is. If the SAS snipers are nearby, that's a shot that they could take, but no. Both of the SAS snipers chilling in this location, and that's kind of a weird insurance policy actually, because they do run into Zemidja, and he gets the first shot and snipes one of them. The other one can presumably avenge him, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, yeah, using the double sniper, also a really good way of taxing the quite manpower-intensive, moderately elite squads of the Wermacht forces. You know, Grenadiers not the cheapest to reinforce. Sniper at the back here doing some work. Zemidja now up to 1 kill, so that was actually his first shot. Interesting that. Pretty much most of the scrum at the moment centred on middle. I'd love to see one of these two squads here just break off and grab the victory point on the right hand side of the map. I can totally understand, of course, prioritising at this early stage in the game the fuel point on the right flank though. I wonder if we'll see a mortar position developed. Ah, we have a 6-pounder AT gun, so that half-track is going to have to make itself a little bit scarce. Just watch out for that. These SAS snipers, I'd love to see this one just toggle off full fire, because I reckon he could get some sweet shots into the half-track and all those grenadiers there. But anyway. Let's go and take a look and see whether we have... Ah, we do! So, the Brits now have access to their top-level tier of tech, the company command post, and the option to choose either the hammer or anvil tech is here, which I've not actually managed to cover in any of my videos yet, I don't think. So, there's sort of mixed skirmish going on in the middle, but nothing too drastic. So whilst this is going on, I'm just going to go over. So if you choose the hammer, you have access to the Comet tank, which is basically a Panther on steroids, the Gammon bomb, which is a very heavy grenade, emergency war speeds, which is basically like having a little combat blitz on your vehicles, which you can get by getting your Royal Engineers to repair them. Track vehicle, which keeps enemy vehicles illuminated for a while after they've been hit by your own vehicles. And if you go for the anvil, of course, you get the Churchill heavy tank, which is really cool. I quite like that. Heavy engineers who move slowly in a fight, but also get a nice Vickers K machine gun and repair and build, twice as fast, which is awesome. Air bursting shells, which is more effective against infantry and blinds vehicles. Now, I've seen these used once, but I didn't actually see them hit anything, so it would be nice to see those perhaps. And advanced warning, whereby captured territory points give increased vision. So the more defensive of the two setups there, but providing quite a lot of interesting abilities for the British forces. These LMG-42s really doing work against the Tommies. I don't feel like HelpingHans is confident taking an infantry fight, not super confident, with the Tommies against the Grenadiers. Those LMGs just chewing them up. Now you see that the Tommies can be upgraded with either the Pyrotechnics package, which you see here indicated by the 2 diamonds, that allows them to call in the fire from the British base, or the medical package, which allows them to heal themselves and nearby units as long as they're out of combat. Taking a look at the tech options, still no grenades, no weapon racks, no increased squad numbers. 4 HelpingHans, and I believe he's probably stacking fuel for something, as this half-track going to be loaded up with flamethrower pioneers, and they're going to come in to burn out this machine gunner. This is a moderately advanced play. Not often you see players doing this, and I do like it. I think the half-track is probably not long for this world. Oh, gets a lucky miss there. He may actually get that out. Very clever. And this has enabled a lot of German forces, including stormtroopers, to come through the middle here, come through the gap provided by that Vickers not being there, and he gets the anti-tank gun. Bit of a turnaround here. That's the first swing, I would say, the first decent play where one player has taken the upper hand through combat. Going to try and steal the anti-tank gun. He may just get that out, especially if he reinforces off his half-track, which you've got to think is there for that very reason. Gets taken out by the SAS sniper though, it hits the rear. And that leaves this anti-tank gun in jeopardy, pretty much stuck out in the open. And you've got to think the British forces are going to try and grab that back, although there's still a good concentration of German forces here. They need some indirect fire. Where's the Pyrotechnics package? It's like they need to call in the coordinated fire just here. These Storm Pioneers, sorry, not Storm Pioneers, they are Stormtroopers, need to get out on one man, and there's Royal Engineers with Sten guns in close range to them. Meanwhile, on the right flank, a squad of engineers being forced back.
We have 300 points remaining.
Pesky squad of grenadiers just going to slow down the fueling for the British player here, who has committed his fuel, and he's committed it to, is that an Ava? Sorry, not an Ava. That is a Cromwell. So, the Cromwell, this is a unit which I really like. We'll keep our eye on it as the game moves forward. It seems to be just a very solid medium tank at a budget price. 110 fuel seems to buy you a tank which can reliably penetrate Panzer IVs. It can trade pretty well, even with Panthers. I mean, not in a one-on-one, but they can definitely chip in and help you out with Panthers. Sorry, I'll try and frame this action a bit better. Trying to... Oh, here's the coordinated fire coming down, so the German forces will want to get out of there, I would imagine. There's a major up to 6 kills. Yeah, so, yeah, the Cromwell just seems to be a decent tank. What abilities does it get? Oh, that's right, it gets the phosphorus shell. So it has a smoke shell off the bat, and then it can get the phosphorus shell when it gets to veterancy 1. And unlike the American phosphorus, this phosphorus will kill infantry models reduced to 0 health in the cloud. And they go for a Bernie dance of death. Basically what I'm saying is it seems to be pretty good against weapon teams and so on. Oh wow, I think a mine taking out that squad there. And the coordinated fire doing work here in the middle. I don't know what's happened to the explosion animations. It seems to just be landing and making craters. Let's have a look. Oh, there we go, there's an explosion animation. And not there, this is weird. I'll keep an eye on that, and hopefully it's not a persistent bug. And oh, I do apologise, I'm just going to have to pause and resume the casting just 1 second. And we're back. So, Cromwell has just gone for like a little poke through mid. It's right on top of the Zamaja. Oh dear, that is a sniper who's in jeopardy. Run, boyo. As the engineers would say. Oh, is he going to get... He got run over. That's terrible. Providing there about a third of a level of veterancy for the Cromwell. That's super unlucky, I reckon, for Andre. And let me see. The Brits making a good land grab, actually, securing like the middle victory point. They're going to grab this fuel point back, which is really important. Now, what is the Wermacht player going to spend his fuel on? Let's go check out his teching. Okay, cool. So he's gone to escalate to battle phase 2. He's got the support armor core. Doesn't quite have the manpower to spend on a tank yet, having just reinforced all his squads. So I'm hoping that we'll see. I mean, a Panzer IV is decent, but I kind of reckon a Cromwell sort of beats it. I don't know. Well, that'll be an interesting fight to see. He's going to need some anti-tank though, because with 3 grenadiers, I suppose his 2 storm trooper squads do have. Or is this going to be a squad wide? That's a pretty big one if it is. Yeah. Oh, it even drops the IMP-42. Crucial. Yeah. He doesn't really have a lot of anti-tank. He's got 2 Panzerschrecks, but they're on small, fragile, and expensive squads, so they can whittle this down. Certainly help a Panzer IV out if it's going to take the engagement. Oh my goodness. Another squad wipe. And this, with the massacre of the sniper in mid, that really puts HelpingHans in a great position. Look at the amount of forces he has up here in the top right. A beautiful tank, he's got a nice AT gun, got all the engineers, got a couple of squads of Tommies, the 2 snipers, of Vickers, lovely. That's a nice balanced force, I really like it. And he's basically playing against some Grenadiers, a flamethrower pioneer squad, and 2 squads of stormtroopers and Shreks. So the game isn't over, but Andre's down to 240 victory points here, and he's severely depleted on forces. The Panzer IV is the choice, and I don't blame him at all. It pretty much has to be a Panzer IV. He doesn't really have the forces to support a Stug, or an Oswin. Oh no, and probably a squad wipe going to go down here as this stormtrooper might get sniped. Why does he not fall this guy back? His attention must be elsewhere. But sensibly grabbing 2 of the victory points, making the most of the fact that the British forces, while far more numerous and superior, are committed to the right-hand side of the map, seizing the left. And I believe it was Sun Tzu, possibly, probably not, whatever, somebody wise, who once said, "Strike where your opponent is not." So yeah, striking on the left when his opponent's forces deployed on the right, able to make some ground and get some value and versatility out of his forces, even though they are heavily outmatched right now. Panzer IV is going to come in and immediately start working on the Tommy squad with the pyrotechnics package. And the MG42 pintle mount upgrade has been purchased, so that will be coming in ASAP. I wonder if we're going to see escalate to battle phase 3 coming up. He can take it, and I'd quite like to just see. The question is, does he have enough time in terms of tickets and field control to purchase the next tech level, save up enough fuel to get something that will be good from it, possibly a Brumbar or a Panther, and get any benefit of it? I don't know. These 2 SAS snipers, yeah, they don't have very many kills, only 5 between them, but they're such a deterrent. Really doing some work. And Panzer IV's doing alright. I can hear so much explosions, so many explosions. I think it's the coordinated fire being used in this location. There's something really buggy with that, like not all of the explosions. Yeah, see like that, there's no explosion actually being generated. Something a little bit buggy about that. Hey, it wouldn't be Relic if they didn't break something during updates, so that's cool. We can deal with it. Oh no, these these pioneers with the flamethrower are going to get shot by an SAS sniper, almost certainly. Or a Cromwell. Or some Tommies. You can really pick your own death here, mate. There we go. Oh, and crucially dropping the flamethrower. This is just so unlucky. HelpingHans now with a considerable foothold in this game, and it is credit to Andre. A lesser player would surely have GG'd by, well, maybe not have GG'd, but you'd be thinking that all is lost. So anyway, credit to him for fighting on in the face of adversity. Finally, we have the fight between the Cromwell and the Panzer IV. The SAS snipers able to stun the Panzer IV for a moment, causing him to fall back, and he's gonna fall back and take it on with the Panzerschreck, and that's gonna make a big difference here. Cromwell just achieving veterancy 1, so has access to the phosphorus shell. The Royal Engineers have given it the emergency war speed, and down to almost 50% health though. I mean, this isn't a fight that you can pursue with the Panzer IV. He knows that there's an AT gun and 2 snipers here, but able to hold its own in that fight with the support of the Stormtroopers with Panzerschreck. And in need of more manpower is Andre right now. Hopefully we can see him refresh his forces roster.
The enemy is taking our territory.
Panzer IV going to make a poke on the right flank, knowing that the AT gun is looking the other way. Here it comes, moving across the field. Going to just get some kills. If he can get out of here without getting slapped by the AT gun, that'll be really nice. Wermacht not the fastest at repairing. Able to take out, I believe, a mine there. That's how did he? Oh, he's got the mine detector back here. I don't know if that was in range on another Panzer IV. The choice. Ah, the plot thickens. Andre now with a bit of a foothold, able to kind of 2 Panzer IVs. You cannot sniff at. Getting the pintle mount on the second one as well. And he needs to command one more victory point. The score becoming an issue for Andre. He is running out of time on that one. But with 2 Panzer IVs, he's now able to focus all of his manpower into rejuvenating his very depleted infantry, and we do, to that end, have another squad of Grenadiers coming in. And Wermacht's very much a team that Grenadiers are your bread and butter. You know, they're the playmakers. They're not particularly super great at anything, but it feels like without them you can't get anything done. They're useful at everything. Oh my God, HelpingHans, just Johnny on the spot with the mines. It's just so many Grenadier squads getting blown up by mines. And another there on the right flank. But crucially, despite the mines, Andre is going to grab that right-hand victory point and put the pressure back on the Brits as far as the score goes. So that's useful. That's useful. This Cromwell not being repaired, now being repaired. And wow, this Panzer IV is going to get zinged by the AT gun. Now let's have a look. Did he go for hammer or anvil? Oh, of course he went for anvil because he's got the heavy engineers. Wait. No, he hasn't actually upgraded them with the heavy engineer package. Wait, he doesn't have access to the heavy engineers. What am I missing? What am I missing? He's definitely gone for that. Oh. Anvil doesn't give you heavy engineers. What? I'm super confused now. It's because he's gone for hammer. Wow! Casting 101. Learn to recognise the difference between a blatant hammer and an anvil. He's gone for the hammer. My bad, everybody. Anyway, both players just licking their wounds, consolidating their forces, repairing vehicles, reinforcing squads. Panzer IV is going to lance out onto the left flank here. There is an AT gun covering this very nicely. This is just going to thunk around. Here we go. Bam! There it is. And that is a tank which does not want to be there. And now we have, I believe, a Comet, the next choice, and an Ostwind from the Wehrmacht. And I have to say, if you look at the way these two armies engage, think of them like 2 cogs meshing into each other. You've got to see that the Comet tank is just going to do a number on most of this armour, particularly one of the Panzer IVs already down to half health. And if you look at the British forces, we're all ready to go here. All the squads are reinforced, the Cromwell's on good health, the Comet's about to join the front. We're about to really feel the force of the British hammer as it swings into Andre here. And how is he going to be able to defend it with just 2 Panzer IVs and an Ostwind? And I can't believe I'm saying just 2 Panzer IVs and an Ostwind, but that's how it feels when you've got 2 SAS snipers, you've got this anti-tank gun. Oh no, the Ostwind losing its engine right in the middle of enemy territory, right in the face of an anti-tank gun. That's a dead Ostwind. The Panzer IVs are forced to make a dive down the left flank, but this isn't well advised either. Just because there's an anti-tank gun, there's a Cromwell, and the Comet is about to get here and start doing its thing. And there's enough SAS snipers here to pin them down with the vehicle with critical hits. That is a Panzer IV that desperately needs to evacuate, but might not even get the chance. And here's the Comet. Oh, this Panzer IV playing mighty lucky. And that surely has got to be... That is the British hammer swinging into Andre that I was concerned about. I feel like Andre took the best fight he could there. He committed the Oswin in an attempt to grab the SAS snipers, but he was unlucky to lose his engine on the way in. Possibly there were some mines just here. And that Oswin was then dead. And I feel like he had to take advantage of the fact that all the AT guns were facing here by bringing his Panzer IVs down through this gap and trying to make the most of the fight here. But with the 2 SAS snipers quickly repositioning his AT guns with the Cromwell and the Comet, the UK forces of Helping Hands were able to take that which was clearly the pivotal fight of the game. So that was an interesting battle. I think we saw how the UK forces can conduct themselves quite well in the early game. Good positioning. Okay, maybe the map's a bit favourable with those buildings, but good positioning with the Vickers, even in the face of some nasty tactics, some good flanking and good use of stormtroopers from Andre. But in the end, not enough to really shake the Vickers, and then the SAS snipers were, I mean, more of a deterrent than anything else. But a very, their presence on the battlefield was quite like large, I guess, like whittling off men where they could, and yeah, able to command the fuel resources, get the Comet out with good timing. And I feel like the Wermacht player was forced to try and make a play with vehicles from the support armor corps. And I think a Panzer IV. Even 2 Panzer IVs and an Oswin, not really enough in the face of a Cromwell, AT guns, the snipers, and the Comet, which was just came in at the end of the fight. So possibly due to the way the early mid game went, that delayed that sort of push. If that would have happened maybe even a minute or two earlier, I think the British forces were in considerably more disarray, and those Panzer IVs and the Oswin could have been a real hot knife through butter. But when everything was ready, the Brits were good to go. So, yeah, that concludes this battle. Thank you very much for watching. This is Magpie 842 signing out.